Hello friends. So it's Father's Day and finally I am enjoying all these Superman movies that have come out. I really enjoyed The Man of Steel and I gave a review on that. You want to check that out. You can find it if you just type in my name, Ted Farabee. And so I want to talk about now a movie that has a special place in my heart. I saw it when I was very young, and I tremendously enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and that's this movie right here. Now, this movie has caused a lot of problems for the new movie coming out. Set high expectations, and this is the original VHS version of the movie that came out, and then also it came out restored digitally. In this rendition of it, and I have this also on Blu-ray, and it is fantastic. Very cleaned up, nice sound. It sounds really fantastic. So let's talk for a moment about the first Superman movie. When it came out, it was the first movie that actually made you believe a man could jump off the ground and fly. Now I saw it in the drive-in movie theater where it was on with the big projectors with the tape instead of like digital like today, and you couldn't see the wires. Now on my Blu-ray you can actually see when he lands, you can see the wires there dangling, and it's kind of funny because it kind of takes the magic away, and you don't have to really be looking for them. With the clarity of the movie technology now, you can really see that the wires are right there and they're easy to see. And then you see the Man of Steel, and yeah, it really looks like a guy just jumped up and taken off in the air. So the technology has come a long way, and it's really exciting. Even in Brandon Roth's version of Superman, you couldn't see wires, and it looked really realistic with his flight. And you could tell at moments when he turned into a digital Superman, because we kind of have an eye for that. We can see when it's digital. So let's talk about the first Superman movie. And there will be spoilers in this. It starts off with a little kid reading a comic book, and it just goes right into the story of him being found by Jonathan and Martha Kent, and within minutes he picks up a truck, and they look and see that there's something really unique about this kid. So then they move through that very gracefully and show that his dad has a heart attack and he dies, and so that sets Clark on a quest. This crystal that's green and is glowing out in his barn is calling to him. So he goes out there and he finds it, and he then proceeds to go on a quest to the North Pole, and there he throws the green crystal into the water, and magically a beautiful shiny fortress comes up out of the water, and he finds out who he is. He finds out he's Superman, and that's when we get the most exciting scene for us Superman fans that we've ever seen on film, and that is when the mask turns and he takes off and he flies, and we're all going, this is going to be cool. That is a really chilling moment for everybody who says they love Superman. So he goes to Metropolis, and he meets Lois Lane, and she's a spunky Margot Kidder, and she does a fantastic job as Margot Kidder. She is exactly what you'd expect a Margot Kidder to be, except for none of us ever really buy that she cannot recognize Superman with the glasses on. I mean, that's just a problem every one of us has always had. And I'm glad that in the new Man of Steel they kind of gotten rid of that. It's obvious at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert, that she recognizes that this guy, Clark Kent, is Superman. So, it proceeds on then to go to this, Lex Luthor is going to try to nuke the San Andreas Fault and have California fall into the ocean to create this land that he's bought, make it valuable, and so forth. And then comes the most ridiculous part of the movie. Really, really silly. And even when I was a kid, my parents talked about it, and everybody talks about it, that Superman chases these missiles for like 10-15 minutes. It could actually even been a little bit longer. And then, after Lois, spoiler alert again, falls into a chasm with the car and gets suffocated by dirt, Superman becomes angry and he flies around the earth about a jillion times a second and flies so fast that he can turn back time and put everything right. Now that is the problem with the movie, and that's why you have to turn your brain kind of off when you go to Superman movies or any comic book movie, is because it transcends logic. Superman can fly around the earth a jillion times a second, but he couldn't catch the missiles and stop one of the missiles from hitting California in the first place. That's a problem. Now, what about the movie? It's great. Its special effects are now dated. I'd much rather watch it on VHS than watch it with the Blu-ray, because you can definitely see the cords. You can tell by the way he flies he's being lifted by a crane, and that he is definitely not like the Man of Steel. However, for those of us that saw it for the first time, it's wickedly funny, and it has some wicked humor, kind of naughty, on the naughty side, and you enjoy it and you watch it. And Gene Hackman, he camps up a little bit too much with Lex Luthor, in my opinion. I think that the premise itself alone is funny enough. And then there are weird things when Superman reveals himself that he's noticed by pimps and prostitutes on the side of the street. However, it is a great film, and it was fun, and people enjoyed it, and it got people excited about Superman again. And another movie was made at the very same time as that one, and that's Superman 2, and I'm going to talk about that next. And so I give the first Superman a 9 out of 10. Not a 10 out of 10. I loved Christopher Reeve. He nailed it. I loved Margot Kidder. I loved the chemistry there. I liked Gene Hackman. Marlon Brando as Jor-El. I never really understood how anybody could live on that planet. It looked like the planet Hoth from Star Wars. It was just cold and freezing, and I'd much rather live on Earth. But anyway, that is my take on Superman, and there's a lot of analogies again, and Superman has always had those analogies that he is a Christ figure, and you will see those throughout this movie. But it is a great time. Your kids will probably laugh at the campiness of the special effects compared to today, but it is a fun film to watch. And now with our 60, 70, 80-inch TVs and it being on Blu-ray, it is a fantastic time at the movies. Even if your kids are going to give you a hard time and say, this is cheese, this is really cheesy, I don't like this movie, and they will notice immediately at the end that it makes no sense that he can fly around the earth so many times so quickly, yet it took him so long to catch the missiles. So I hope you enjoyed my take on Superman the movie. It's a great film. I think it will continue to stand the test of time, and kids and adults of all ages can enjoy it. So I will talk to you later, coming from the Music Man's Cave. Bye.